Good morning. Welcome to week one. I'm so excited that you guys are here. This is going to change your lives. It's changed my life, and I'm super excited to get started. And I know it's going to feel a little bit daunting, a little bit too much at times, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to make it easy. Okay, so last week was our prep week, which means that you went over the curriculum here and there. Maybe you attempted some intermittent fasting. You found a window. We looked over the Fitness Pal. And if you didn't, then you didn't, and it's fine. Week one is here to start and begin. So today is day one, and we're gonna practice progress, not perfection, which means if you mess up a day, you mess up a day, we go to the next day. We learn from our mistakes and we go forward, because that honestly is the only way to actually learn. And while the program is super easy, it just takes a little bit of getting used to. And in many aspects, your body needs to get used to it. How you think about food will take a little bit of getting used to. Not eating at certain times of the day, and not having that nice big Starbucks latte at 8 o'clock in the morning. That was my hardest thing, and I never, after 15 years of that habit, I never thought I would let it go. And I've let it go without even noticing. I just drink black tea now, and it's fine. So anyway, welcome to week one. Okay, a few important things. First, I'd like for you guys to post on this thread right here what your goals are just for this week. So we all have lots of big goals, and you can post your big goals if you want to, but really I just want to know, what's your goal for this week? Because this is going to be a turning point week for us all, and we don't want to fail right out of the gate. We want to keep it positive and win, and it's super easy to win. So post a goal down below, and then we'll go from there. We'll talk about all that stuff later. Okay. I'm going to go over just a few guidelines for the week, the most important things. So first thing is no scale. Nobody gets on a scale. I personally have a fat percent scale that measures and weighs your fat percent. And even that, I did it at the beginning and then I did it at the end of the week, and that's plenty. You don't really need much more than that, because there's going to be so many other factors that you're just going to see and feel to tell you how your progress is going. And like most things, it's a progress. It's going to take a little bit of time. By 6 weeks, you're going to be good to go and all set. But week to week, day to day, I don't want you harping on what's my progress, right? So no scale. This is not about pounds. This is about fat loss. So that's our most important thing right away. Second is drinking water. Drinking water and clear liquids, super, super important. Make that your main focus. I know that counting the food and figuring out when to eat feels like a focus, but if you're focusing on drinking your water, use that as your guideline. From 8 o'clock in the morning until noon, I drink water or tea or clear liquids or something like that. Even coffee. Coffee without sugar and cream is totally fine. So you want to make sure to get enough liquids, and it's really going to help you get through those periods of time when you're not eating. Which brings me to fasting. So I don't know if you guys had a chance to really try the fasting, but the hardest part is just going to be finding that window that fits for you. So for me, I really like morning eating, and I don't need to eat late at night so much. So my fasting window that I do is 10 to 6, or my eating window is 10 to 6, which means that I wait until 10 to have my nice big latte that I like. And then I eat basically a nice big lunch right then. I'll eat something in between then and dinner, and then I eat dinner. I start making dinner at 5, and we try to be done with dinner by 6. So for us, that works. I like it. If I have something going on, like we're going to eat with friends, or the kids have something going on late and we want to eat together later, I'll move my window to noon. So I'll do a noon to 8. And you can shift your window all around. The important part is you really want to get 16 hours of fasting in. So whenever you end at night, you want to count till 16 till the next day. So keeping that in mind. Post your questions here if you've got, what can I drink, what can't I drink, what can I eat, what can't I eat. Post it also in our daily threads. It's really important to post in those threads because then when you post a question, I can answer it, everybody can see it. If you stay out of our instant messaging, then nobody else can see it, and I really can't speak to the whole group. And there's so much to tell you all that it's better if I'm speaking to the group. So post your questions in our threads each day, and I can answer them. I'll be answering 3 times a day. So in the morning, at lunch, and in the early evening. But it should be plenty of time for you guys to be able to get me if you need me. So otherwise, instant messaging is totally fine, so you can do that if you need to. Okay, next thing, remember that we are going to be turning our bodies from sugar burners into fat burners. This is the biggest shift you're going to go through, and it will encompass many things. It will encompass how you feel physically, how your cravings that you're going to have or not have, or that you've had in the past, how you feel when you're working out, and how your food is. So right now we eat, we work out, we eat, we play, we sleep, we do things. Our body is constantly using the glycogen stores that just eating has created. And so what we're going to be doing is depleting our glycogen stores on Monday and Tuesdays. These are our low carb days. Less than 50 grams of carbs each of those days. And we're going to use the FitnessPal to keep track of and measure throughout the day. Very important to not do it at the end of the day after you've eaten. You want to do it beforehand. So in the morning before you eat anything, plan out your day so you can tell what you have time for or not have time for, or as you go. And then at the end of the day, you'll realize, oh, I better eat something that's 100% fat. That was my problem the first off. I kept not planning well and getting stuck with, I need to eat something that's 40 grams of fat, hence fat bombs. So not a problem. We have a solution for that too. Okay, so back to 50 grams of carbs. Very important that you stick to 50 grams of net carbs. And you'll be figuring that out on FitnessPal, which means that when you eat a carb, it'll tell you the carbs in that food, and it'll tell you the fiber in that food. So we're going to take how much fiber we have, we're going to how many grams of carbs we have, we're going to minus the fiber from it, and then that number below will be our net carbs for the day, which we want to be at 50 or below. We want to keep our protein at the amount of protein grams that FitnessPal recommends. So I'm very small and short. So for me, it's only about 50. So I'll still stay at 50. And that's going to leave me a lot of calories still to go because I will have a low carb and a certain amount of protein. I'm going to fill that with fat. And so my fat will only be at about 40 grams of fat a day, but I'm going to up it all the way until I've filled in all the rest of my calories for the day, which means you can eat some fat things, and we want to focus on healthy fats. So for me, I'm vegan. I don't eat bacon or meat or any of that stuff. I'm going to fill up on nuts, on fat bombs, which are like almond butter and coconut butter. I also love avocados, two avocados, and I am set. Totally full, totally fills me up on my fats. And it's a treat. You'll start to look forward to this. At first it'll be weird because it'll feel uncomfortable and you won't feel good because you want to eat carbs and sugar and your body will be wondering where it's at. But very quickly, I would even say week 3, that's when it clicks in like, oh, hey, today's my fat day. And I know that's a weird way to think of it, but that's what I started doing. I thought, oh, today's the day I can eat all the fun things. So save your fun things. I don't eat avocado so much on my regular macro and low macro days because it can mess up with my carbs and stuff. Being a vegan, I don't have a whole lot of options that are high protein without the carbs. So I tend to get a little bit stuck having too many carbs per my protein. But I've found ways to get around it, and it's totally easy and fine. And if you have that trouble too, I can I can direct you, I can show you what I do, and we can talk through it. So not a worry. So I save a lot of my fats for my 2 fat days, and you'll start to feel your body reach for fat, want the fat, use the fat, burn the fat, and hence faster rate of fat loss. So super exciting. Okay, that is the low carb day. Again, ask your questions in the threads that I'm going to post for low carb days. If you want to know it, someone else wants to know it. We're also going to be posting in these threads a screenshot of our wheel from our FitnessPal app. So I already showed you how to go through and get to the wheel. At the end of the day, you'll screenshot the wheel. Also would be good these first 2 weeks to please screenshot the nutrient screen. Then we can see exactly how many carbs, how much fiber, how much fat. We can see what's going on with your whole diet, and it'll really help me direct you if you're not sure which way to go or you need help. So we're gonna screenshot those 2 things at the ends of each day and ask any questions within those threads. Okay. So next thing is our regular carb days. So after a low carb day, a regular carb day is gonna feel like a vacation. Wednesday will be our regular carb day, and that means that you're going to be refueling your body. We have a great workout that day. That's definitely going to be a weight training day. So if you can work out in the morning while you still are fasted, it will start your fat burning process, and you'll be burning fat directly for that workout. So if you can, do it. If you can't, not a big deal. You're still burning fat. You're still doing great. It'll just be like that much better for you if you can. Also, you might be tired and weak, especially those first 2 weeks. So go easy on yourself and don't worry about it if you can't get to the workout till after you eat or after you break your fast, after 10 or noon or whenever is your fasting period. So then we're going to stay under 200 carbs that day. Again, check with me to make sure that your FitnessPal is set up correctly. We can get that all dialed in today by the end of the day. Very important that we all feel comfortable with it and understand it. And then as we're tracking and trying to learn how it goes, it'll be much easier for you to get the hang of it and see where you've made little errors, and then we fix the next day. And please, please, please remember, this is progress, not perfection. It is easy for me, especially, to want to be perfect at it. And if I'm not perfect at it, to kind of just want to throw it out. And you don't have to do that. You're so close. You're so much closer than you've ever been that any little mistake is only going to be, a tiny blip that no one's going to notice. And we have, our next meal, our next day, our next opportunity to get everything back in line. So don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about making mistakes. They're your best way to learn, actually. Okay. Oh, the other big important thing, and I always forget because I am naturally gluten-free and dairy-free, is that we will be going gluten-free and dairy-free for these 6 weeks. At the very minimum for these 2 weeks, if you can. And if you're new to gluten-free, this is my jam. I know everything about gluten-free. I am an expert vegan gluten-free baker, so I have a lot of experience with substitutes and what is gluten-free, what is not gluten-free, and especially carbs. It's very, very easy going gluten-free to just go high carb as well. So, ask me questions. I'm here for it. I'll make a little list with my favorite gluten-free options for things, and again, they're all whole foods. I'm not one to go out and get gluten-free pasta, but on a regular carb day and I'm feeling like I really need it, that's what I'll do. Quinoa pasta, you're kidding. It's like easy and great, and you won't even miss it, especially after you get used to it. So again, ask me questions. I'm happy to give substitutes and give ideas for things that you can do to go dairy-free and gluten-free. Okay, I'm super excited. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say back and to see what your questions are and to see where your mindsets are. Post your goals here. Post your questions in our thread that we started today. And here we go. I'm super excited. All right. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll be in touch. Bye.